We're going to go ahead. So you can't see me, right?
Okay, turn it on.
We back?
Hey, I told you. See, if you're ahead of the bullshit, you'll be okay.
It's a flawless system. I see we're matching blue hats today. I know we both got parlays running for Feast Week. I know you just got killed with betting Akron Live Line. Do you want to talk about Feast Week at all? Do you want to talk about the money you just lost at all?
I didn't bet on Akron. Who said I bet on Akron? You said, are you going to bet on Akron? Huh?
You didn't have to say it. Don't lie to the people.
No, I swear I didn't bet on Akron. Why would I bet on Akron?
Not even to cover.
I didn't bet on shit with Akron, dude. Why the fuck in any sport would I bet on Akron?
I forgot that women's college basketball is also going this week. That's my bad.
Oh my Christ on the cross. That's not the reasoning. But
if you do want to hear about my women's college parlay, let me tell you.
Oh Jesus Christ on the cross.
I'm talking about you. I'm talking as if I'm you.
Oh no. I see there was a time and a place where betting was out of control where I would bet on call.
I think it's fair to say before you get into it, we both have had several times in several places where our betting's gotten out of control.
Literally, I'm betting on shit that I can't even get on television. I'm like, what the fuck? Yep. Like it's not even on ESPN. What's it called? ESPN 3, where you just stream it. Like it's just like, oh, here you go. It's like what the, and then you're just like, well, where am I supposed to get this? It's like on their networks. That's the fun. Like that's the part you have to realize to yourself. You're just like, when you have to find their network for their local thing, then you're fucked. Then you're it's even more of a stab when ESPN Plus doesn't even have it.
If ESPN Plus, they air every ODU game. So if ESPN Plus doesn't have it, it's a major concern.
It's a major concern, and you whoever you are, this is an intervention.
A legitimate degenerate, not to quote any major newspapers or anything.
No, it's just degenerate people who love to bet. Listen, I love to bet more than the next guy. But I'm now betting on things where I know for a fact I can get the channel on the fucking television or the game. Because I cannot sit there and watch Georgia UAB if I can't get it. You know what I mean?
So let me ask you this. Give us one lock you got going today that's a midday game that's going on right now. That's not the
midday game?
That's not the World Cup.
Well, the World Cup is finished. My bet won for the one.
Oh, that's right. Lock. France dominated.
Whatever the goal line was, it was immaculate. Fucking, I love France. I love just one player.
Why can't you bet spreads in the World Cup?
You can. I
didn't find lines anywhere to bet spreads.
All right, let me check for you. But my lock is probably going to be Ohio State against Cincinnati. And I think the line, I got it.
Like 5.5 or 4?
No, Ohio State's minus 3.5, and
okay.
They just lost to San Diego State, but they are going to beat Cincinnati because I don't see Cincinnati's last 5 is terrible.
Cincinnati beat Arizona handily last night.
No, they lost 101-93.
I mean, did they? They covered. They covered. I may have not watched that game and just saw they covered.
Covering machine.
Yep, win. It was a win for me.
I do like the one guy on Ohio State, McKee. He's pretty good. He averages like 6 rebounds a game, so I think he's going to out rebound the guy Cincinnati's big guys, and I think we're just going to watch hopefully a 3-point barrage. But I think this is just for whatever. I think these are the 5th place games because I think Texas Tech took a huge L to Creighton, and I'm watching them against. First of all, Louisville sucks. Louisville sucks. They have sucked since Rick Pitino left. I don't want to hear it. I know we're 5 minutes into the show. That's all I want to say.
I mean, yeah, it's a program that's gone downhill ever since they weren't allowed to go ahead and bribe players anymore, or
get a sicko
to ensure the best players come their way.
The NFL now has proven, hey, you can be a sicko and have an NFL job in week 14, so you're good. And obviously I'm being sarcastic because I do not condone being sickos, but hey, NFL. NBA, NCAA. Who gives a fuck?
We're not condoning it. The NFL, NCAA, FIFA for sure. maybe even the Olympics in certain circumstances, all seem to willingly endorse this. But there's a lot going on this week, Nude. Clearly, we're overwhelmed with sports. We got Feast Week going on. We have World Cup going on. So I don't understand
okay, so before we move on, at least on FanDuel, you have to go through the tabs to find the spread. It's not there like how it is usually for.
I went through populars. I scrolled when you can go to alternate spreads. You go through.
I'll send you a screen recording. I'll send you a screen recording after this.
Because I would have had France -2, -2.5.
I think it was literally no. It doesn't go that high. I think it was -1.5 or some shit like that.
I'd take that in a heartbeat. Yeah,
I took it. I mean, if you took Argentina, look what happened. But this is face of the franchise.
I did. That hurt me for about $1K.
Face of the franchise listener. This is soccer talk, basketball talk, but now we'll get into football talk. I am your host, Michael Farrow-Shanuti. That is also your host, Lil Joe. Now, Lil Joe, let's just get right into it.
I haven't done one of those in a while, by the way. I think since the first season of the show, I haven't let out a good.
Yes.
It's been a minute. It feels good.
I think it's because now we're on a good pace. We're in a good rhythm. I think we had a huge talk about what we need to do. I think it's good because both of us don't have CTE and don't think we're 20 years of age.
No, real quick, if you just want to slide past that, Little Joe may have gotten a little slap on the wrist or two. May have had a little adjustment.
I didn't want to. If you want to air out laundry, you can. I was doing the whole. We talked in private.
I've always been open with our listeners here. Yeah, Joe hasn't been consistent. Joe hasn't been there for you. Joe hasn't been there for the face of the franchise listeners. Now, I've told you many times that will change. I've told you many times I'm going to be consistent. All I can now do is do. This is 3 weeks in a row. We're going to keep it coming. We're not stopping. This is going to be a show that's going to take off in the ether. You're going to be seeing PMT who, Pat McAfee what. You won't even know who they are because we will be the #1 sports podcast. Someone that I don't understand how has a job in general, and you're just getting into it, though, Nude, now that I've let out that dirty laundry and have spoken to existence, is Troy Aikman. I don't understand this. It doesn't make any sense to me. It's almost as bad as me telling you that I'm going to be consistent and then not being consistent. Again, that will change. But why would you lie about your age, saying you're 65? Or it's going to be your 65th birthday, when it's going to be your 56th birthday. You're 9 years off. The only explanation for any human being to do that whatsoever is you have a strong case of CTE. Nude, thoughts, inquiries?
All right.
Like to comment on the dirty laundry side topic as well. Let's get it.
I think at this point with Troy Aikman and everything, I think he's just trying to be something he's not. He said something a while ago about like the NFL needs to take their dress off and let people hit people and shit like that. It's just comments that a guy who's at his age, who literally, I mean, you brought it up. The guy literally quit football because of concussions. Like a concussion took him out. Like he would have played maybe, who knows, maybe 3-4 more years. I'm not speculating, but he did have a history of concussions. Then yesterday he says the shit that he says, and he's like, I did the opposite. Some people say that they're younger and blah, blah, blah. I went the opposite. I'm like, bro, can you shut the fuck up? I'm watching Jimmy GQ shred this defense. I don't care about happy birthday and all, but shut the fuck up. And at one point, I don't know what the context was because I kind of was phasing in and out because I was watching like, obviously the 3 TVs, Heat and the Maui.
We had money all over the place. Again, lots of games going on. Me and Nude are all over the place this week.
But at one point he said,
"You're lucky we're here focusing on this show right now." Continue.
He was saying something, and then I hear Joe Buck shush him. Clearly, it has to be playful because they're best friends. But I'm just like, eh.
I mean, like, Joe, you knew Joe was mentioning it immediately when, like, dude, like, are you all right tonight, Troy? Is everything good? Can you tell me how many fingers I'm holding up?
Yeah.
Can you tell me who's the president of the United States currently? Can you tell me the date you were born in? And I mean, it was time to check up on Troy. I was trying to put in a replacement, maybe put Boomer out there and see how terribly that goes. It was just bad. It was just weird. It made no sense. Yeah, Troy, definitely my dickhead of the week. Definitely go see your doctor. Guy of the week.
I mean, there's nothing more to say. I mean, we've seen this coming.
Yeah, we're moving right along from Troy. I don't want to give that piece of shit any more air, except for the fact to say that him and Joe Buck are the worst broadcasting team of all time. You know how I feel about him. I've talked about this in the past with Joe. He's like he's definitely my Kevin Costner of broadcasting. I can't explain my hate for Kevin Costner. I like 2 movies that he was ever in. I will fully admit that is Draft Day, and that is, of course, Dances with the Wolves. I have not watched Yellowstone due to my hatred of Kevin Costner. However, that would be a different show. We won't get it in today. Instead, I'm here to defend my quarterback news, at least my quarterback outside of the Commanders. A guy that's really just the quarterback of my church. That is the Latter-day Saints, as you know.
Okay. Mormon. All right. Time out. Okay.
I'm hitting this motherfucker again. You shut the fuck up, and you let me do it. I don't care if you don't like it.
I'm gonna let you go. Actually, you go give your, no offense, you're the probably, because here's what I'll say.
No, go ahead. Poo-poo on the bit. Poo-poo on the bit.
Well, no, I'm not poo-pooing on the bit. I'm poo-pooing on the fact that, actually, I'm going to start with this.
You don't like me claiming that I'm a Mormon? Do you have a problem with me claiming a fake religion? Are you offended?
No, I know there's 3 quarterbacks. I know there's 3 quarterbacks. One is Steve Young, 2 Jim McMahon, 3 Zach Wilson, 4 Heineke.
Okay, you're just clarifying the bit. Okay, I appreciate that.
I'm clarifying because here's what I want to do. I want to make a personal statement.
Okay.
What I saw yesterday from the media.
If you're going to disavow the Mormon Church, I'm off the show.
No.
That sounds like something you would do.
I just want to say this to the media. You motherfuckers were so fucking bored yesterday that all I had to hear yesterday was Zach Wilson this, Zach Wilson that, blah, 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 this, and this, yada, yada, yada. I get it, dude. He sucks. We all knew he sucked. Like, he has this talent, whatever. The fact that Booger said something about him having a lot of money, and then, like, I think it was, like, Rex Ryan, who talked about, like, Mark Sanchez and blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, Boomer said he's never had any account of responsibility, so why would he take responsibility for his money?
But the money thing was just that was clearly uncalled for, because let's look at the NFL altogether. Yes, there have been people who've come to situations that were harder than others, but
you don't think Trevor Lawrence came from money?
Trevor Lawrence, Patrick Mahomes, John Lynch,
Taysom Hill,
Casey Hayward, like people. I mean, Josh Allen. I mean, we went to school with Josh Allen. Josh Allen.
Jonathan Allen. Yeah, it's all right. It's all right. It's all right. You're forgiven. You get one. You get one.
Oh, Josh Allen too. Josh Allen probably came from a good place too. Like
Jonathan. Yeah, Josh Allen probably did too. Jonathan. Well, we don't know that. We can't confirm that for sure. We got to look that one up.
No, I think it's confirmed. I think he was from California, and his dad had a good business and everything. I'm not saying
that. Fact check. Jonathan Allen went to the richest. One of the richest counties. Went to school in one of the richest counties in probably the richest county. I think still to this day in the world. It's either that or Fairfax. They go back and forth.
I think really what people need to realize something with Zach Wilson. Zach Wilson is what Aaron Rodgers is without the success. So if he had success,
okay.
No.
Okay. So now you're getting my Mormonism coming out. Be careful now.
I'm being honest. Aaron Rodgers. I mean, people hated me when I said that, but look at Aaron Rodgers. Remember when he called out receivers? Remember when he called out the play call? Remember when he called out all these different things? He was being an absolute dickhead. And the reason why he could do that, he's Aaron Rodgers. Now, obviously, Zach Wilson didn't call anybody out. All he said was no. The fact of the matter is people are just bullshitting because, one, they lost in a horrific fashion. The offense was horrific. He said no when all he could have said was it was a team, like we lost as a team, or maybe I should have made a few plays. People want to hear that shit. People love that cookie cutter bullshit.
To appease the media, you go, yes, I let the team down there. I should have done more. Sure, whatever.
Now this is my last point, and then you can go. Now that I keep looking at it, I think he really was just defending the offense because they asked, did the offense let down the defense? I think literally all he said was, no, because he wanted to protect the entire offense. I don't think he was protecting himself now that I look at it. But the media needs to stop sucking dick. Now you can go. Sorry. That was the number one thing because I was just annoyed seeing it all over the fucking place.
No, I appreciate you saying that. And bit aside, to get some clarification across, you're 100% right. This was just clearly slow week. Not a lot of news outside the NFL or outside the actual games. They were digging for something here. I just viewed it, and again, bit aside, I literally just viewed it as him being kind of irritated with the media. Still a young guy. Still, I think he's 22, 23. Still very young guy. And he just simply was irritated and said no, just trying to get the questions done, trying to get out of there, frustrated. He's just trying to, again, just basically tell the media to fuck off. Excuse my burp there. I've been drinking Gatorade all night. But yeah, just basically telling the media to fuck off. That's all I really interpreted it as. I'm sorry, like, a guy's not going to give you a perfect answer every single time. And that's simply all it is. I won't even do the bit anymore. I was just going to say the exact same thing, but in bit form. So, yeah, I mean, I'm not worried about Zach Wilson. That was poor play against one of the toughest defenses of all time that's now beat you. What's the current Patriots streak? I've heard some crazy numbers this week, but I'm not sure what's fact or fiction.
What, on the Jets or just them in general?
On the Jets.
Oh, dude, it's like people keep saying like 15 or something like that. I really don't know. But
it's some absurd number like that, like not since the Rex Ryan era, along those lines. And that's just going to happen. Listen, Jets are still 6-4. Jets still have a season on their hands. Jets are still very much in play. They got beat in a stalemate against their rivals, and your offense is going to have off days. I'm not worried about our church's leader. I'm not worried about Zach Wilson. This is much to do about nothing.
Mm-hmm. That's what I'm saying. So, anyways, there was more news this week, I guess, right?
Hold on.
I don't want to be the media. I don't want to keep bashing this dude's bashing.
We're supporting this dude. We both supported this guy.
I literally was on the train. That's
got to be the worst transition ever. There's just more news this week, right? Yeah, nude. There always is.
What do you want me to say? Hey, guess who got fucking murdered today or injured? Like that? What do you want me to say?
Rebounding from the worst transition in the show of all time, and maybe in any podcast. Major injuries from week 11. Justin Fields' shoulder timeline unclear as of now. As we're recording this on Tuesday. We got family week coming up. Everybody does Thanksgiving. We thank you all for continuing to listen, show love to the show. But they won't be updating Justin Fields until tomorrow, nude. So we don't really have a clear idea right now. Kyle Pitts' knee injury is going to go ahead and be placed on IR. It's not like you didn't already drop this guy anyway. Jeff Okudah, concussion. That's going to be a major hurt to the Lions. Next up, we have CEH, ankle. He was already done and dropped off your roster.
Pacheco, I've been saying it for since fucking week 7. Pacheco.
Wait. Can you admit that you took advantage of me? I missed that he wasn't going to be used as much. I missed that CEH's usage was going to be down. You saw something.
I'm going to be honest with you. I'm going to be straight honest with you.
You came into my car while I was sleeping in my car downtown.
What did I give you? I gave you somebody else. I gave you Raheem Mostert too, and Gabe Davis. No, I took Raheem Mostert. I gave you somebody else with them. Who else did I give you?
You gave me Gabe Davis. CEH,
and then I gave you CH and then somebody else.
If you did, I don't remember, and they're probably off my team.
Here, let me see. My point is, Joseph, at the time, shit wasn't like that.
Me with the right? Joseph, huh?
Yeah. Okay, so I took Mike Evans, Raheem Mostert. I gave you Jeff Wilson, who you can use, and you dropped, by the way, Gabe Davis and Clyde Edwards-Helaire. You could have used him.
Jeff Wilson. I mean, there's all this news about. Once he was traded, that was a mistake on my part. I made a couple of mistakes. Funny?
It's basically I did give you, because now Jeff Wilson's back on my team. I did give you CH and Gabe Davis for Mike Evans, basically, because Raheem Mostert is nothing. Raheem Mostert is absolutely nothing. So
also, let's clarify though on this team, who's my three-headed monster? Well, no longer. Exactly. One head's been cut off, but
yeah,
who's my three-headed
monster?
You're
good. I don't think you needed Mike Evans as badly as I did. So
who is it? Say their names. Who is it?
Isn't it Tyreek? Cup was one of them.
Yup.
And then DK.
He recently came back and is doing what he always does.
Oh, D-Hop.
Yep. So, I mean, at that time, I thought, okay, I need running backs. I didn't see the thing about CEH's use. I still thought Jeff Wilson was going to be happy with the 49ers.
This is what I was trying to do.
Then, 2 weeks later, Jeff Wilson gets traded, and I read some wrong information, and I think, okay, well, what's the point of that? They're good over there. They got Raheem, like, we're good. Yeah, didn't work out in my favor. You pulled up in my car. You were horny. You were hungry. You were devious. You pulled my pants down and took advantage of me when I was sleeping.
Listen, I go in when I need to go in. You feel me? Like if you leave your door unlocked, that ain't my fault. You left it unlocked. I'm just over here trying to win a game, buddy. That's it.
I'm glad you won your Super Bowl. Congratulations, because you're still not making the playoffs in that league, and I definitely am.
Yeah. I mean that at that point, I'm gonna win it out hopefully and see what happens. That's the name of the game. Now that I have a quarterback, it's not shitty. So
Hey,
actually no, I think it's Justin Fields.
thanks for not being like Jake Doran and you lose a couple games and you threaten the S word all up and down your phone for 3 hours from 11:30 p.m.
S-word.
to 2:30 a.m. at night.
What's the S word? Oh my Christ.
You don't threaten suicide because you lose a fantasy game, Jake. Jesus Christ, man. I got work at 7 a.m. and you're texting me suicide thoughts because you lost to me by 0.4 points. Yeah, that's tough. Get over it. Move on to next week. Be like Nude.
All right, can we go to
Darius Toney,
next
hamstring.
game?
Mike Williams, ankle. Adoree Jackson, knee. Michael Carter, chest. Jalen Warren, hamstring. You want to talk about that at all?
Jalen Warren. I mean, Tomlin says it's day to day, but at this point, I think Najee has gone back to where Najee does. So, yeah, I hope Jalen Warren becomes all right. But yeah,
I was great game for Najee. We'll get that when we get to your game. Next up, we got Miles Boykin, oblique, Rondell Moore, groin injury. Returning this week, hopefully, after the third week in a row he's been promised. Chase Young will play. I don't believe anything at this point. I hope he does, but it's the Chase Young who cried wolf at this point. Potentially Hollywood Brown as well. Looking more.
Oh my Christ, with this Chase Young.
Yeah, I don't even want to get into it.
All right.
Once he comes back, he comes back. Great.
All right,
stop teasing me every week.
Yeah, it's next. Just next after this.
Hollywood Brown potentially coming back. More likely next week, but there is a chance he will play this week. Anybody else I missed, Newt? Anybody else that you heard where it's coming back?
No, just two big things. Melvin Gordon released.
Yep.
And
thank you.
Darrell Henderson released. So what does this mean? Latavius Murray is basically just going to take the whole thing, and the Rams are just happy with the one Super Bowl that they won. That's all. That's all it is. Hey, congratulations.
That's all they need. Sean McVay's still got like 20 years to coach. He'll win another. He'll be fine.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, they'll have to reload a lot later, but yeah.
Yeah, and I mean, the most obvious pickups of the week that won't be on our list right now is Latavius Murray and Samaje Perine in the running back position.
That's just, I mean, Christ. Talk about chalk as chalk gets.
I wanted to jump off. That's not, sorry for all the suicide talk. Metaphorically, not literally, wanted to jump off a fucking bridge with what Samaje Perine did this week. I don't understand. But we'll get into it. Next up, we are going to go ahead and talk a little bit about how the Eagles got so desperate, Nude, so worried, so fucked up from a fellow Monarch of mine, Heineke, and the 49 rushes that, of course, you had Brian Robinson and Antonio Gibson on, that they signed Ndamukong Suh and Linval Joseph. I didn't even realize he was still eligible to be signed to the Eagles after getting dominated by the Commanders more than 10 points. Just, real simple. Left hand up. We're looking like a serious threat. I appreciate your continued support and love. I know you said you think that we're going to make the playoffs. I can't put those words in existence yet, but I appreciate you saying that. Any thoughts on signing Ndamukong and Linval Joseph for the Eagles?
So, number one, I want to do two parts because I'm just going to do both y'all. Washington Commanders. You guys did your business, like you said. You beat the Texans. You guys didn't fall into the trap.
Oh, okay. We'll just go right into my game. Okay.
No, next. You could go after that. I just wanted to say that. I just want to say congratulations.
Thank you. I appreciate that. That was a little teaser, like we teased your Steelers segment. We'll get into it.
Second, you guys fucked them so bad that they signed every fat guy that was left on the
we gotta get more big fellas.
Jesus, I cannot. Well, you got to think about this too. Like, who are the biggest threats in this whole thing for them? It's the Cowboys, the Vikings, and the 49ers. All very good run games. So that's what it comes down to. Those 3 run games, and you need to stop them. They can't stop Brian Robinson and Gibson. No offense to them, they're not going to stop 40. They're not going to stop CMC, Elijah Mitchell, Dalvin Cook, and fucking Tony Pollard. That's
what was with that like subtle shade there?
How's that shade? It's more so like
a little shot. That was a bit of a shot. It was a little bit of a shot. If they can't stop Brian Robinson and Antonio Gibson, no offense. That always means offense. You know, I'm nice to your Steelers. I'm supportive. You know what I did this week? Because I couldn't watch the game because it was blacked out until obviously one game was a blowout and they switched over coverages, which I don't think I've ever seen. We'll talk about that as well. But I listened on Pittsburgh radio. I listened on Pittsburgh Steelers Network radio this weekend, listening to the game. That's how committed I was to your team. And you're going to throw my guys under the bus?
I didn't throw anybody under the bus. You took it as it is. No,
now you're a liar. Now you're a liar. You're throwing guys under the bus.
You know what? Whatever.
You're a misogynist. You're a racist.
You guys fucked them so much that they signed fat guys.
Yeah, you've always been Team Yee. We know this. You've always been Team Yee. I said it last week. I'll say it again this week.
Wow.
Yeah, biggest. Who's your favorite athlete? Kyrie?
Honestly, I'm not even entertaining this anymore.
Someone who was entertaining himself last week, Titans OC. I already forgot his name, dude. I apologize, Kareem.
Todd
Downing. Todd Downing arrested for DUI 4 hours after winning. Nude, thoughts, comments here, and also, what was your thoughts, comments on? Damn it, I think I might be having technical difficulties.
You good?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, we're good. Okay, you're still there. Nice. All right.
Okay.
All right. But anyway, also a little bit of silly on top of that. After getting, he got arrested. The Titans OC. Then we went ahead and had Derrick Henry. And sorry, people, I got thrown off there a little bit through my phone. It's still freaking out.
Turn your camera off and on again. Turn your camera off and on again. No, it didn't work. No, okay. Yep. So we're gonna do this whole split thing.
And speaking of keeping themselves entertained, Titans OC Todd Downing, nude. And we might need to check with our boy Green, see how he's doing, our Titans insider. Arrested for a DUI 4 hours after winning on Thursday Night Football.
Yeah. So basically, I don't know if you saw as well. Your boys got in a little trouble too. They got fined for drinking on the plane. So they're just having no tolerance for it, and that's just what it is. But for Downing, it's funny because I was talking to Kareem.
By the way, are we in fucking Qatar? What are we doing here?
What do you mean?
We can't drink after a big win? Like, I don't understand. It's like we're in Qatar.
All right, okay. You guys, it's different. Downey, it's another thing. Downey drove. That's the problem.
Okay, yes. We are. I should say. Yeah. That's no tolerance. Let me clarify. I'm more speaking to my commanders, not at all to Todd Downing. I don't condemn that. I completely condemn that. That is just. I mean, you got to be better, buddy. You're a You're in the league. You can afford an Uber home.
Yes. So
we've had this discussion a bunch on this show.
I talked to Kareem. He's okay with them firing him because there's zero. He doesn't like that as well. You get free Ubers if you work for the Titans. So it doesn't make sense why he didn't take advantage of it. So, even though the offense has been clicking under him, he's okay with it. So it makes sense. I'm okay with that too. Honestly, if it was any of our coordinators, especially Matt Canada, I would love that if Matt Canada could do that, please. So you can just get fucking fired, just as fast as you can, you pussy. So
hey, it's a big drinking week. So Matt Canada.
Oh my God, I hope so.
Make Steelers Nation proud.
Hope he pulls the Todd Haley and fucking goes to Tequila Cowboy and gets into a fight.
I want to be perfectly clear too. Again, what he did was just stupid and completely dumb. I was more speaking to what happened with the Commanders getting fined, as well as I believe some Vikings players got fined for the whole Kirk Cousins thing as well. So it's just like, let the players enjoy themselves, let them do their thing. That's what more I was referring to, like Qatar, not or Cutter, however you choose to pronounce it. Not at all what the Titans OC did. Todd Downing is just disgusting, and it's kind of sad because that offense wasn't. I mean, yeah, it wasn't clicking on all cylinders, but he did have some special plays that I really liked, and just an idiotic move. More of a "Hey, I am your team" move by Derrick Henry, costing the team a timeout. Didn't matter at all against the Packers, but literally costing the team a timeout because he tied his shoe for too long, dude.
Yeah, no, it's we'll see what happens. Apparently they said, according to Vrabel, that they're gonna just let him coach until the legal stuff happens, and then they'll figure it out from there. So
that's the latest. Okay, but you did say Kareem is totally fine with the firing.
Oh, 100%. No, I think everybody's okay with the firing. It's not that he was a bad coordinator, Kareem said. It's just so.
Okay. It's just a dumb move, and I don't care how good you are, you got to go. For Kareem.
Yes.
Okay. And then no comment on the Derrick Henry tying a shoe incident.
Nah, not at all. I mean, it's just prima donna bullshit.
I knew pre-show. You're acting like pre-show. You're like, oh yeah, that's funny. I knew during the show you're gonna go ahead and be like, nope, no comment. Bills fans helped Dawson Knox.
I got your ass.
Got me. Classic nude. There's a troll from you. A rare successful troll for you. Bills fans helped Dawson Knox and Spencer Brown get to the airport on time during a blizzard last week. Just a fun story, man. What good fans. I know my Pops was happy that Dawson made it there for him to help him get another dub, who's dominating my league, by the way. He never has. I don't understand. He still thinks that Waiver Wire is doing trades and lives and dies off projections. So I don't understand how he's beating us all, but he is. And he left for the Bills Mafia, showing love to Dawson Knox and Spencer, making sure they make their way to the airport.
No, that's cool. So it's funny that you brought that up. This one I have a comment because it reminded me of an old story.
You did seem like you truly enjoyed this one.
No, I do. I mean, it's a cool story because I like when fans are part of the team and they show that they're a part of the team and stuff like that. And especially in Buffalo, where literally, I mean, you think about it. I mean, the Bills are their life, basically. It's like everybody enjoys going to the games. Everybody loves them. The Sabres suck. So they're just like, okay, we have this generational quarterback. It reminded me of back in like 1998 or 1997. I forget which Super Bowl it was. It happened to the Broncos going to, I think it was at the time, Oakland. And people came with like snowmobiles. People would use snowshoes to get to the airport. It was a crazy story. It was from that old series called America's Game on NFL Network where they did the whole Super Bowl team.
Oh yeah, I gotta check that out. Yeah.
I think it was John Elway. One of their fullbacks said something, and a running back or a defensive tackle, they were talking about it, and they were just like, "Yeah, we were gonna miss the game, or how we were gonna get to the game." And people got trucks and all this shit, and it was a good story, and it just reminded me of that. And happy that the NFL wised up and did all this. But next time, let's do it sooner. And next time, even if it doesn't snow, let's be very precautionary. Precautionary is what you're looking for. With everything. I got you. Everything. Always got you. With everything. Don't wait.
Always fill your hole.
Problem. There you go.
Always be happy to fill your hole.
Thanks, buddy. Come in my hole, brother.
Didn't want to completely steal that bit. All right. Yeah, man. No, I thought it was really cool too. Like, this just shows the passion that fans have, the love that fans have. Like, you do something like that, you actually really feel like you helped the Bills win that victory. It's just a cool, fun story, man. Love of the game, passion for the game. I agree with Nude and his precautionary tales of let's be a little bit more heads up about the weather. Although I will say, as much as I agree with you too, I do still like a good snow game. 3 feet of snow, though, a little wild. Obviously needed to move that one. Speaking of a game where we'll never get a stadium where we'll never get a snow game, And the most Florida news of the week, Nude. This is my favorite story outside of the games of the week. Jaguar Stadium cited finding 128 health violations at concession stands, including several dead rodents, and 100. And that's right, I have the specific number. They counted this: 159 feces droppings around these concession stands. That's it. They counted 159. Which I just found incredible. They even went for the count, or like they didn't just round up or say like a shit ton. But no pun intended at all. I'm better than that. But yeah, dude, most Florida news of the week.
Yeah. When you told me
most Jaguar news of the week.
When you told me this story, I couldn't believe it. Then you told me the organization and the state, and then I believed it. And then I was like, Reddit went fucking deep into this one, so it makes sense.
Yeah, I mean that's just probably standard for most Florida restaurants. And I know it's easy just to poo-poo on Florida. Everybody does it, but they make it easy on us, dude.
Always.
But yeah, let's get to our surprise disappointments and games of the week for week 11. Last week you went first, Nude. I'm gonna go ahead and go first up this week.
Go ahead, baby.
Mind. And I'm going to take us to the surprise of the week. That is Lions versus Giants. I will tell the people I normally try to have a little caveat, a little bit of, a thinker on my games of the week, disappointments and surprises. This week, at least for the surprise and disappointment, dude, it's as straightforward as it comes. Obviously, Lions versus Giants being my first one. We finally got some great grinding for Dan Campbell that completed the job, that closed the game. I gave him a lot of shit last week about talking about closing the game, them and the Bears. Lions were able to do it this week. Shout out to the Lions. Just a whole lot of love. All the puppies got off the porch. There's no more pissing like puppies on this team. They're going to give you a fight every single week. Just a whole lot of love to the Lions. I don't think it's time to, as much as hates me to say this and pains me to say this, I don't think it's a panic button for the Giants at all. This team is still proven that, again, a 3-loss team, they still went ahead and proven that they have, besides this bad game, that they have the offense now, at least for the most part, with the running game. Saquon's fully back. I don't think the mistake was having Daniel Jones throw 44 times in this game. I understand that Saquon was stuck.
I agree.
To get established from the start, but you don't have Daniel Jones throw 44 times in this game. It just doesn't make any sense. And that's the only reason, besides a gritty Lions team, that the Giants lost this game, dude.
I think now Dan Campbell's got the guys buying in. They figured out that Jamal Williams is better than hurt DeAndre Swift. Was the defense is
which, by the way, talk about I'm sleeping and you pull up me in my car. I'm getting that in every which direction this fantasy season. I don't know where I stand, why I'm limping some weeks. It's been painful, and DeAndre Swift is a big catalyst of that.
Trust me, I know. I have him in a couple leagues too, so it makes sense. I'm just happy.
Jamal Williams gets the hat trick.
It sure does, buddy. It sure does.
I promised I'm still in my basement over here, dudes. I promised my parents, my roommates, I'd be quieter this week.
Oh, breaking news. Sorry. This is breaking news, good breaking news. Okay. Sunday will mark the 15-year anniversary of the tragic loss of Sean Taylor. The Commanders announced they will unveil a Sean Taylor statue prior to the game. All players will have a 21 on their detail.
What's his name? Little Mahomes? Jackson Mahomes won't fucking piss this time.
Well, it's the Falcons, so hopefully Marcus Mariota.
He still might pull up and do a fucking TikTok on the news. Piece of shit.
Well, right now the Chiefs look good. But anyways, go ahead.
Has nothing to do with Jackson literally stepping on his number last year. Don't get me started on that. It'll be a 3-hour show. I won't get started on it, but I don't want him anywhere near the stadium. I don't think the Falcons will do anything to it because we're going to piss all over their faces come this Sunday. Next up, disappointment of the week for me, man. It's, again, obvious one, very obvious for me, but there's no excuses not to be competitive in this game. At home, Minnesota Vikings versus Dallas Cowboys, 40-3. Once the games got switched over noon, I then switched over, obviously to your game. on the TV, but then on my phone on the radio, I switched over to Minnesota Vikings local radio, and they were mentioning this was the biggest blowout in Vikings team history ever. It just was bad. It was just bad, and there's again, pains me to say this too, there's a bad man that led the way in Micah Parsons. I am terrified, Nude. We have to see this guy twice a year. This guy
is very good. He is very fucking good. He is very fucking good.
I don't know if there's really any comparison to the level I think he can get at right now. That's right. I understand there's some people named TJ Watt and Aaron Donald.
No, I mean, he's very elite. That's all I'm gonna say. He's very elite.
I mean, I don't think I've seen a dominant linebacker since like Luke Kuechly. I mean, even go back to that. I mean, we're talking Lawrence Taylor type shit. I mean, I know he wasn't obviously he wasn't a linebacker, defensive guy or defensive line guy, but Sean Taylor, another guy in that kind of just absurd elite level. You just mentioned his name. So yeah, it was Micah's game. It was Micah's statement game, and boy, howdy did he put his fucking stamp on it.
He sure did. He's going to be Defensive Player of the Year, so get ready for that.
So do you know, like that, and it speaks volumes too. And I'm once again giving you credit, even though you poo-pooed on my running backs, that you guys, again, I mean, it's very impressive. Dude, I forgot where I was going with this complete point. I lost it. What the fuck were we talking about?
I have zero idea, honestly.
Yeah, disappointment was the Vikings. Micah Parsons. Oh, yes. Okay. Got their back. I always bring myself back, Nude. When in doubt, I always bring myself back on this show. And I'm giving you loyalty and respect. That's why I caveated this. You're not even fighting the TJ Watt argument because, again, I mean, just what Micah has been able to do. And obviously, TJ's been hurt, and we still have to see at that level when healthy and when, in the thick of things. But Micah Parsons has just been putting on a different kind of show.
No, it's even if TJ was healthy, he would probably have to replicate what he did last year to beat out Micah. And it's tough, but it could happen. I think when you talk about the three best right now, it's Aaron Donald, him, and TJ. And it's going to be exciting to see for a couple years who gets what, because Aaron Donald probably is done. He's not going to win anymore. But TJ and Micah are going to go back and forth, I feel like, in these who's going to be the best defensive player right now. So.
But again, credit to you right now for being, an honest man, not biased. You're saying right now like a better player.
Absolutely.
Going on to my game of the week, Nude. And I just love fun games. I'm giving you the actual game of the week for the third week in a row. You're welcome. The things I do for you and the things you don't do for me is paramount. And it's honestly, you could give me an apology. At some point, I'd appreciate it. But for now, I'll talk about this Bears-Falcons game. Again, obviously, Justin Fields falling a possession short in a game, playing his little heart out, going ahead and showing that he's the best QB running back to ever do it. That's right, because he's the only full QB running back that I'll give that name to besides Michael Vick. Under 100 yards, but it didn't matter. Still had a pretty goddamn good game, averaging 4.7 yards. But the Falcons, I mean, listen, it's not like this offense is, I guess, at times been competitive against other dumpster fire teams. But they look pretty damn good against the Bears defense that, yes, I understood they sold the majority of their defense, but still is playing at least to keep them competitive in the game. They're also giving up about 30 points in the game, so that's a big reason to it. But again, it was just a fun game to watch. Marcus Mariota get an own rushing touchdown himself. Tyler Algier and Cordell Patterson seem like they're going to be the guys going forward. You finally got Drake London moving a little bit here. He's been quiet the last couple games. Obviously, you have Kyle Pitts go down, but it was just a fun game, dude. I enjoyed watching every bit of it. When I did flip back, I went back and watched some of the highlights after too, because obviously my game was going on during this one, and I don't have 3 TVs. I know, fuck me. But yeah, this was fun. I love me a good fun one.
Exactly. No, it was a great game. It's one of those games that low key just it hits different when these two teams are doing good. in the sense of like you're not watching the same old teams winning. It's good to see some scoring. So.
Yeah, just an exciting, good, fun game. We haven't had a lot of as much of those as I like this year, so I was happy to get it. But, Newt, who's your surprise, disappointments, and games of the week?
So I'm going to start with my surprise. My surprise of the week is Rams Saints. Shit, man. You go from winning a Super Bowl to this now and losing to Andy Dalton and the Saints, carving your defense. You still had all those players from the defense.
Would you say biggest Super Bowl hangover of all time right now?
I need to look back, but right now, I mean, recent memory, yeah. Because Chiefs went to the discussion
for sure.
I mean, Chiefs went to the Super Bowl and win again, lost to the Bucks. Bucks won the Super Bowl, went to the NFC at least divisional championship or divisional game, lost to the Rams. Who else am I missing? I bet you the Patriots millions of times didn't miss whatever after their Super Bowl. So like it's
right,
just
it's one of those. We're gonna have to get one of our producers, aka me or you, to go ahead and,
I'll look that
do
up.
A little research on that one.
It is kind of crazy because I mean like they brought in these people like Allen Robinson and Bobby Wagner, and you thought maybe okay that they're gonna do this again. All of a sudden they've been hit with injuries on their offensive line. Matthew Stafford's in and out of the lineup with concussions. But I'm just so surprised by their defense being so bad, not even able to stop Andy Dalton and Chris Olave and Alvin Kamara. I just was like watching that game. I was like, damn, this team was just in the Super Bowl last year. And I'm not saying they should win the whole because like 49ers are head and shoulders better than them right now. Seahawks have the juice. I'm just saying this is crazy. I thought they would at least have.
I said juice, by the way, nothing else. I said juice.
Okay. All right, Kyrie. And he had he had.
I didn't think you're gonna ever get to flip it back, but there you go.
It's unbelievable, man. It's just unfucking believable watching this team. So, that game was my surprise.
Yeah, I mean, all I gotta really say about that game is again, it's just the most Super Bowl. I think it is in the top 3 conversation. I'm gonna go back and do the research. I'll report back next week, but it is one of the worst hangovers I've ever seen. And this team just looks flat. I mean, I understand there's some things going on and we have a backup QB playing now, but like it's just sad to watch. And this team is just a ghost of whatever once was there. I think Sean McVay's already thinking rebuild and how that's going to go. His mind's not on this season anymore.
Exactly. So now from one surprise because of how disappointing it is to 2 teams that played each other and basically, it was just a disappointment, as in.
By the way, hold on. Throwing a flag. You had 2 disappointments this week.
No, surprise. Because surprisingly, I mean, the Saints are at least giving it a shot at going for the division.
Okay.
I mean, you think
justify your surprise. That's all I'm asking.
No. So I'm surprised.
You gave me 2 disappointments.
Because people are like, oh, the Saints this, the Saints that, blah, blah, blah. They've won a couple of games. They're going to fucking be there at the end against the Falcons and the Bucks. So keep your eyes on them. That's my surprise. Even though the Rams suck dick, it was a surprise because they could end up winning the division if the Falcons are not careful and the Bucks are not careful.
Are the Saints better? Let's just do the quick quarterback ESPN debate. Real quick. Oh, right. Well, we're on first take, Newt. Are you ready? Oh, right. Who should the Saints start this week? Stephen A. Smith. Should they go ahead and start? Who would they have a better season? Let me ask you this. Who would they have a better season with if they would have gone with Jameis Winston, stuck with Jameis Winston, or are they going to have a better season with sticking with Andy Dalton like they have?
Andy Dalton. I mean, Andy Dalton until, I would love to see Jameis.
I hate that I'm Max Kellerman in this scenario. I always end up
I'm more so ride the hot hand. I mean, like, look at Heineke. Like, the dude's winning. I mean, yes, this is totally different scenario. But with Jameis, they weren't winning that much. And if he's going, he keeps going. That's it. I mean, you just keep going until the wheels fall off. That's my opinion on it.
Who's the better quarterback?
What, Jameis or Dandy?
Yeah. Careful now.
That's very bad. No,
Careful now.
It's just Jameis, I guess. I don't fucking know.
It's James. The answer is James. This team would have been better off with James. Andy Dalton continues to still struggle. I get it. You won against a ghost of a team. Again, the classic cliche on the show. You won against a team full of nudes and Joes. Congratulations. Yeah, that's not shit. I still, what I've seen overall from this guy, it's not going to get him to the playoffs. I truly believe, and it's not even a bit anymore at this point, Jameis Winston is the more explosive quarterback. He is going to make those bigger plays. Your offense continues to look flat. You're just riding off AK. You're not even using Taysom like you should anymore. I don't understand. That worked well in the past. They've had success, that's sustainable success in the past, not this up and down, very bipolar like season they're having with Andy Dalton.
Okay, there you go. Enjoy. And there's a James stand right there.
And that's also my lane this plane of the segment of the week.
So disappointment of the week is two teams that everybody thought would be there at the end. They played each other, the Raiders and the Broncos. Every time I see Raiders Broncos now, I'm just like, what is the next year going to hold for them? It was fun in the sense of Devontae Adams scored a game-winning walk-off touchdown, put a great move on the DB. I was more so surprised with what I saw from Russell and from Derek Carr. Like, these teams are just literally just playing for.
This is the best disappointment. I almost wanted to go actually Colts Eagles, because that was a terrible Eagles performance. But this is even better, and this is the classic definition of just a disappointing game.
Yeah, I mean, if you didn't have Devontae Adams, like fantasy-wise, Devontae Adams fantasy-wise was obviously off the hook.
Yeah.
Everybody else was ass. Like, a lot of people were like, start Derek Carr, start Russell. Derek Carr got 2 touchdowns because of Devontae Adams. But, I mean, you want to get a Jimmy G type performance if you're streaming. But damn, I mean, it's awful. I mean, and then it leads into my game of the week, where it's the two best from that.
Hey, think of energy. Give me some energy. Be excited.
No, I'm not. I mean,
game of the week.
Honest, man. Is there a better fucking duo
than
Patrick Mahomes and
Amp
Kelsey?
it up.
Like, Jesus fuck. Like every time I watch a team score so fucking early, and I'm like, damn, that is so early. Why are you scoring? Why? Like, take time.
You're just speaking on cliches, the cliches of this show, like me and you play on the
God.
When they're terrible. Biggest cliche in the NFL right now is Patrick Mahomes winning with fucking 30 seconds on the game clock. Or, excuse me, he had 1:19, which is way too much time for Mahomes.
It's just too much. He
scored at that 30-second mark.
Credit to Herbert. Herbert did all he could. I mean, he threw touchdowns. He got him where it needs to be. I mean, everybody wants to clown him for the last second.
Cover the spread.
Look, they want to clown him for the last interception. Whatever, man. I mean, at this point, like, you're just stunned because your defense knows it's going to one fucking guy. And they couldn't stop Travis Kelce with one of the best safeties in football. Travis Kelce, there's no guy I'm drafting him in every fucking league next year. I don't care where I'm at. I don't give a fuck if I'm number 1 overall. I am drafting Travis Kelce.
Regardless, if he is there, he's getting picked up.
Because guess what? If you drafted Mark Andrews, he's been hurt. Kyle Pitts been sucking dick because of his offense. I mean, who else? You want to put Goddard hurt, fucking Ertz hurt. Like, the gap between Kelce and the next best tight end is now unfathomably huge. And if you have Travis,
again, like Waller, another disappointment, didn't show out at all.
I'm going to tell you right now, Joe. I have a team right now that has Kelce, Christian McCaffrey, Kenneth Walker, and St. Brown. I'm going to fuck people if all I'm saying is
you're going in everybody's pockets this year, huh?
I'm going to fuck people's assholes. And I mean this wholeheartedly. And
you are fucking raw dogging people's beat, buddy.
If Travis Kelce,
you're pulling up whether they're sleeping in the car like you did with me. You're pulling up on their home.
Travis Kelce,
church.
You heard it here first.
Going in their pockets, going in their beeholes. That's
heard it here first. If you're not drafting,
king of going in beeholes, king of taking pockets.
There's only 3 players that I'd take before Kelce, probably in a draft. Their names are Derrick Henry, CMC, and Justin Jefferson. And the list. I don't want Austin Eckler. I don't want fucking Jonathan Taylor. I don't want any of those guys. I want Travis fucking Kelce. And guess what? I'll go back around and get Josh Allen. I don't give a fuck. I don't care if my running backs are going to be Miles Sanders and Josh Jacobs. If I have those 2 sons of bitches, I'm winning.
That's enough to still win with Travis Kelce. I mean, and let's be clear here. You have in past years, not that you've been off on him, but you'll take him in that late first round. You wouldn't take him in those first 5 picks. Now you're saying it doesn't matter. 1, 4, 3, 2, 5, 10. I'm taking him.
The positional advantage that he has and the chemistry that they both have, him and Mahomes, is insane.
It's unreal. And I got to share a little fact with you before we move on from this game, because we got to get to our games, and I got somewhere to be at 6, so we are running a long one. But
yeah, let's just move on. Sorry.
No. I do want to say this. So I nutted a little bit earlier while watching the game. There was a stat that came up about Derwin during the game. You mentioned him, who did give up that last touchdown. That was on him. There was a stat about, I don't know, 4 or 5 minutes into the third quarter, basically saying Travis Kelce, when covered by Derwin James, 4 targets, 1 reception for Travis for 6 yards. Then the next stat comes up and says all other guys covering Travis Kelce, 4 targets, 3 catches, 63 yards, and a tug. At the time, just had 1 tug. Yeah, that changed very quickly. I went up and told Dad. I was like, yeah, this is my guy. Like, Dad, I want you to know all about him. I'm sorry, I'm my roommate, not my dad, my roommate. And I want you to know all about him, like, what's going on. And Derwin, there's not a lot that can expose that guy. He is one of the best safeties in the NFL. There is no debate about that. He in my opinion, is still top 5 in the league.
No, this is not shit on Derwin James. It's just how good Travis Kelce and Patrick Mahomes are. Sorry,
he is one of the few that can make Derwin James look bad, and that speaks volumes to everything that Travis Kelce is. But let's get to our games, Newt. I went on a big rant last week, so I'm not going to say too much. I actually want to hear more from you in your game and how things went for you. Again, love listening to it on Pittsburgh Steelers Network. For me, very simply, we did what we were supposed to do. We didn't fall the trap that we fell into for the last decade and a half, that we can't beat the teams that we should beat. It was a fucking blowout. It was ours from tip to tip. I just exactly what we needed to do. Defense looks great.
Didn't fall into the trap.
Kendon Fuller for his picks. What?
Didn't fall into the trap. You guys
didn't fall into the trap.
Good job.
Kendon Fuller with his pick 6. I mean, once that happened, that was like 2 minutes into the game. That's all we fucking needed. Taylor went ahead and moved the offense like he should. Even Logan finally getting back involved this week. I was really excited to see that. Hoping Chase comes back with just really doing exactly what we are supposed to do, and doing it cleanly, doing it smoothly, and doing it unarguably, executingly incredibly well. For lack of better words there, right? Workflow, my plane got a little lost, but we found ourselves back on the track. Shout out to my boys. Really proud of what we're doing. Keep it rolling. We are looking like a legitimate threat going forward.
I like it. No, you guys are good. Again, don't fall into a second trap. You guys got Falcons for this week. Beat them. So that's all I got to say for us.
Staying sharp. We're going to stay sharp, and that's all we're going to say. I'm not going to use the P word. I'm not going to say anything like that. I'll let you do that. Staying sharp. Not falling into traps. Keep it rolling.
Exactly.
Keep stacking them up.
Beat the teams you're supposed to beat. Beat the teams you're supposed to beat. For us, I mean, it was a great first half. We got complacent. There was a lot of problems. I mean, it starts and ends with the offensive coordinator once again. Just making plays that are very easily depicted by the defense. They knew what
Najee with the top 3 run of his career, arguably.
No, Najee did his thing. I mean, Najee came to life, 28 carries. He had 100 plus all-purpose yards, 2 touchdowns. George Pickens looking like a great pick. Pickett had some great balls. Pat Freiermuth.
He's developing very well. He's having a nice, decent rookie season.
This is what I'm saying though. Like, we have a great day on offense. Our defense just doesn't stop anyone. Our offense goes 4 straight 3-and-outs, and it just falls on the offensive coordinator once again. And it's a very minute offense where everybody knows our plays. The Bengals said it. You guys said it 2 years ago. Like, everybody just knows our plays because it's the same shit all over again. I see the same fucking plays, and there's no creativity. I mean, there's nothing more I could say. I mean,
is there anything in the rumor mill about this guy besides obviously frustrated fans and maybe analysts such as like yourself that are looking at this and any type of rumor mill coming out.
He's gonna get fired. It's just gonna be in the off season. We wanted it. I wanted it during the bye week, but I think it's the off season. I think it's just it's depressing when you have Frank Wright out there. When you have all these different guys you can get, you need to fire him. You need to get an outside source. You need to fire the defense.
So that's your choosing OC right now is Frank Wright. That's who you'd prefer.
Oh, I would. I mean, this is like what I did. This is what I did a long time ago too. I don't know who it was, but
again, careful now. Don't fall into your own trap.
Frank Wright can make an offense.
Or mine,
and that's the thing. And I don't know if he will come, but I didn't think we were gonna get Brian Flores, and we got Brian Flores. So make Brian Flores the defensive coordinator, make Frank Wright the offensive coordinator, and then hire an actual offensive lineman, head coach, not some guy that you find off a fucking street corner, and draft some linemen.
Jeez.
End of story. Okay, next. Waiver wire pickups. I mean, I can't do this anymore. Waiver wire pickups. My quarterback is, it's going to be Derek Carr. Awesome.
My balding is showing. Sorry, continue.
Derek Carr.
For listeners and not viewers, I just took off my hat, and you can see I'm going to be bald in the next 6 months.
Basically. All right. I'm going to run through mine. The Steelers.
Derek, wait, you said Derek Carr?
Derek Carr. So I know I just said it was pretty bad, but I mean, at this point, if you don't have a quarterback,
you are so desperate that this is the most desperate you've ever been in your whole life.
You got Derek Carr. That's what happened. Derek Carr.
You started my guy. Of course, why am I blanking on his name right now, dude? Played last night.
Wow, Jimmy G.
Not Jimmy G.
Oh, Colt McCoy?
Yeah, thank God. I don't know why. Sorry, Colt. I love you. All love.
Jimmy
love
G
the Texas where you played it. But it's like you started Colt McCoy this past week, and now you have to start Derek Carr. That's where we're at.
You have no quarterback. Let's just say that. Running back is that we're gonna go Jerick McKinnon.
Or you lost Justin Fields after having no quarterback. Now you need a quarterback.
There you go. Running back Jerick McKinnon, catching back. CEH is broken, and Isaac. Pacheco is going to do a lot, but I think McKinnon is going to get a lot of the catching. So if you're in a half-point PPR, please go get them. And wide receiver, I am going with old reliable. I'm going to go with Treylon Burks. You saw what he did on Monday night or some Thursday night. He's back. He's doing his thing.
Oh, we should pick up Treylon Burks? Okay.
It's not. I mean, the dude had one good game.
The most obvious pickup besides Samaje P.
Probably Paris Campbell. I feel like Paris Campbell is more.
Paris Campbell, I told you to pick up 2 weeks ago. Do you listen when I get my waiver wire pickup?
Tuesday.
I've been winning people championships. You're giving people who already taken up.
I then go get Trey McBride. Trey McBride showed that he has some.
Y'all notice how he never gives the owning percentage. Never gives the percentage of which they're owning.
I don't need to give the percentage because they're out there. Trey McBride. If you picked up Trey McBride like
Treylon Burks is owned in 50% of leagues.
They're not, dude.
So what? Yes, he is. Go look it up. He's owned in 50.9% of leagues.
Defense. Pick up the Carolina Panthers. They do play the Broncos. They fucking suck. And there you go. Go, bitch.
Well, here's some ones that aren't as obvious that you probably haven't thought about.
You're over here denying the fact that Treylon Burks, if he's out there, go get him.
I mean, 100%. I'm not denying that fact. He's been excellent. He is the clearly number one receiver for the Titans going forward. He looks great, and after a slow start and a lot of hype, he's living up to it. He looks great. I think if you pay attention to football, like most of our listeners do in this show, that listen to this show, they know that. They already knew that. They're looking for someone they maybe didn't think about.
So you have literally 50 minutes, and you're over here still talking about it.
The place I gotta go is like.
So I'm gonna have a 2 hour.
All right. You know what? That's fine. Terrible picks as usual this week. We'll move on. Taylor Heineke, for me, yes. Now I noticed it might seem a little hypocritical, but the reason I'm saying Taylor Heineke is because he hasn't been great fantasy wise. I think this is the week where we see that pass game go out a little bit more. I think that we're going to get a lot of love to Curtis. We're getting a lot of love to Scary Terry. I think Logan picks up a tug this week too. I think it's going to be the first time we really see an aggressive passing offense from the Commanders because the Falcons are expecting that run game. We'll show you what's up. Go ahead. Take Taylor Heineke, 23.6% owned, under 50%, like probably most of these picks should be.
Oh,
James Cook. I told y'all last week, I'm telling you all again, he had the game of his career, most touches, 18 on 86 yards. He's going to be that change of pace back to Devin Singletary going forward. Maybe even be back number one. Kind of see he's out touching Singletary and at least in rushing attempts instances. Next up, one that nobody's talking about, Newton. I don't understand why. 0.6% owned in leagues. Demarcus Robinson. Blast from the past. Demarcus Robinson, 9 for 9 last week on 120 yards. He is their main target going forward. Demarcus Robinson is an old reliable. We know he's got the speed. We know he's got the Pat Mahomes experience under his belt from past years. Demarcus Robinson, don't understand why he's not being talked about this week. Juwan Johnson, next up, one of the few targets the Saints have out there. Go get him. He has a touchdown the last 3 weeks. I think he's going to continue to be that red zone guy for him. Season saver, 19.3% owned. Again, under 50%. Dolphins, next up, Dolphins playing Texans. Simply, if they're available, go take them. They're available in about 78% of leagues right now, or 68% of leagues, 32.1% own the Dolphins are. It's just, that time of year, where you just start trailing the bad offenses. Another bad offense includes the Rams. The Rams are playing the Chiefs this week. Go pick them up, 18.3% owned.
All right, let's go. Gambling.
Gambling corner. I appreciate that you're making sure that I'm on time to my own thing, because I certainly am not.
No buys. So quick. Spread. No spread. Over under 1 word.
This is his version of speeding me up, ladies and gentlemen, in case it wasn't blatantly obvious. Let's go ahead and let's go to Thursday afternoon, right before you eat your Thanksgiving dinner. Sorry, I won't be able to do one word that's not possible, but I can certainly talk faster. Bills versus Detroit Lions. Detroit Lions are at home, plus 9.5. Over under is 54.5. Dude, who the fuck you like? Who the fuck you love? You just turned me on, on the podcast when you get one time, 1.5 times.
Two speed.
2.5.
Yeah. Bills domination, cover over. Yeah.
Agreed. Except for no Newton Joe on the same page. I'm saying under here. That is weirdly high. I don't think it's going to be as high as 54. New York Giants versus the Cowboys in the afternoon game on your Thanksgiving Day. Cowboys are minus 9.5 here. Again, very weird fucking line. I don't care if they just blew out the Vikings. That is Vegas sucking them hard and way too hard. Over under is 45.5. Nude, who you like, who you love, especially against a division rival.
True. I will take, surprisingly, the Cowboys to cover and the under.
Fuck out of here, dude.
Defense.
What the fuck is wrong with you?
They're looking good.
Wackest pick you ever had on the show. You're feeding into Vegas and what they want, especially because
first of all, you want the Cowboys to win.
They are begging you to take this 9.5, dude.
They want you want the Cowboys to win, Joseph, so you guys can get in. I know you're not going to say it.
I never want them to win. I don't give a fuck.
Oh, I mean, that's your prerogative.
Find a way in, baby. Don't worry about
it. That's your prerogative. Go ahead.
Don't worry about us. Vegas is begging you to take the Cowboys here. It's Giants, plus 9.5. Take that over 45. Next up is the night game after you are stuffed and hammered and feeling great. Patriots versus the Vikings, or maybe not so great depending on how your Thanksgiving meal went. Patriots versus Vikings at home, where the Vikings are minus 2.5. The Vikings are, again, another spread that seems a little jaded because of last week's games. Over under 42.5. Nude, who you like, who you love.
I'm going to take the Vikings back at it again. They'll find a way and under.
They struggle again one more time this week, and then they'll be back at it. It's going to be Patriots plus 2.5. That's right, Patriots plus 2.5 and an under. Baltimore Ravens versus Jacksonville Jaguars. Jacksonville Jaguars are at home, plus 4. They are. Again, another line that seems way closer than it should be. Over under is 43.5. Nude, who you like, who you love.
Jaguars in the under.
Jaguars in the under. I am going exact opposite with Nude. Minus 4 in the over. Broncos versus the Panthers in the dumpster fire game of the week, as always. Plus 2.5 the Panthers are. Over under is 36.5. Nude, who you like, who you love. In a game
Panthers will cover, but it's going to be very, under. There's nothing but the under.
This is one of those lines I like to give out. I actually told you last week, take the under 20 in the Patriots versus Jets. You're welcome. If you actually there's another alternative line under 20 game right here, Broncos and Panthers. I say Panthers get the dub here. Next up, Falcons versus the Washington Commanders. This game is at home, -4. The Washington Commanders are over under is 41.5. Dude, I am taking the over here. That is an easy over, and I am not saying anything else.
Over and the Commanders.
Good man alert. Next up, Tampa Bay Buccaneers versus the Cleveland Browns, +3.5. The Cleveland Browns are over at home. Over under is 42.5. Once again, dude, who the fuck you like? Who the fuck do you love?
Yeah, give me the Buccaneers. They're about to smack their asses, and then under.
Okay. Again, dude is on a violent, kind of rapey, weird streak this week.
They're fucking stupid.
He's in people's buttholes,
those fans
whether they
suck
give him
my
permission
dick.
or not, as he told us this week.
No. Those fans
King
can
of the
actually suck
buttholes.
a fucking dick. They can suck a fucking dick. The Browns fans can suck a dick. Go ahead.
Quick trigger by Nude. First, Nude and Joe on the same page of the show. Next up, Bengals versus the Cincinnati. Tennessee Titans, +2.5. The Tennessee Titans are. Over under is 42.5. Nude, who you like, who you love?
I'm taking the Titans. What the fuck? They're plus? Okay, Titans in the over. Suck my dick.
I am also I'm not going to suck your dick from the front or the back.
Not you.
For the back.
Whoever made those lines can suck my dick.
Yeah, there are some weird Vegas-y lines this week. This is one of those weeks that definitely makes you go, huh? It seems like Vegas has got something up their sleeve and more games than one. But I'm also going to take Titans here. It seems too blatantly obvious. +2.5. They're begging me to take the Bengals. I'm going over here. Did you take over?
I think I said under.
Okay, great. Yeah, we're going to go with that. All right. Houston Texans versus the Miami Dolphins. We are now on our 1 o'clock Sunday slate. Actually, we got to it 2 games ago. Houston Texans versus Miami Dolphins. Dolphins are -13. Over under is 46.5. Dolphins are at home. Nude, who you like, who you love?
Dolphins and the over.
Third, Nude and Joe on the same page of the show. Next up, we have the Chicago Bears versus the New York Jets. -4.5. The New York Jets are. Over under is 39.5. That is another. They are very reactory with these lines from just last week alone. It seems like no other basis of the rest of the whole season is being taken into factor. This over 39.5 is my lock of the year, dude. Over 39.5 for this game is my lock of the year. That is the most dumb line I have seen in a while. Lock of the year. I'm giving it out. Only give it out once a year on the show. So to go. Actually, this is the first time I've ever given out a lock of the year. Put your mortgage, put your kids, put your wife, put whoever is available that will give you a little bit of value on this game and not double, not triple, quadruple your net worth on the over this weekend.
All right. Whatever that was.
What do you mean? That was my lock of the century. Sell your kids, sell your wife, sell your house, and quadruple your net worth game of the year. That's what that was.
So we're going to get a Trevor Siemian and Joe Flacco game. It's going to go over, and I'm picking Siemian.
Oh, fucking Christ. That's right. I forgot injury. I forgot
Stupid
Zach
fuck.
Wilson put his foot in his mouth and Justin Fields.
Yeah.
Back that up.
No, it's Joe
Back
Flacco.
that up.
There you go.
Cut that. But I'm sticking with it anyway. Over 39.5. And let's go with the Bears, +4.5. Next up, we are going to give you the Las Vegas Raiders versus the Seattle Seahawks. Seattle Seahawks are at home. Over under is 47.5. Nude, who you like, who you love?
Raiders and the over? I guess. Fuck it.
Raiders in the over. He guesses. Fuck it. Jesus Christ, dude. I'm going. This is Seahawks -3.5 and over. Yeah. Again, make sure you cut that. Not sell your kids, sell your wife. Game of the year. Quadruple your net worth game. I forgot there was 2 backup QBs playing. Arguably some of the worst of all time. Next up, aka San Diego Chargers. Excuse me, not Los Angeles Chargers. San Diego Chargers versus the Arizona Cardinals. Arizona Cardinals are +4 at home. Over under is 47.5. Nude, who you like, who you love?
Give me the Chargers and the over once more.
Chargers and the overs once more. We are heating up with the overs at the end of the week here for Nude. Next up, Los Angeles Rams. What would again one of the better games of the year. Has been a great series for the last couple of years. Will be a absolute badgering. Will be nude in your pockets. It's going to be the Los Angeles Rams versus the Kansas City Chiefs, -14.5. The Chiefs are. Over-under is 44. Nude, who you like, you love?
I got to go with the Chiefs. And I'm actually surprisingly going the under.
Gotta go Chiefs, and surprisingly going under. I think that is a great call, as the Rams are going to put up more than 3 points. No way they're scoring a tug. Saints versus the San Francisco 49ers. San Francisco 49ers are minus 9.5 at home. Over under is 43.5. Nude, who you like, who you love?
Niners and the under.
Final two. Oh, and I didn't even give you a pick there. That's my bad. I didn't even give you a pick there. I'm going to go ahead and go plus 9.5 Saints, and I'm going over. So we gave you 2 winners there regardless. You're welcome. Green Bay Packers versus Philadelphia Eagles. Over under is 46.5. Eagles are minus 7, favored at home. Again, that line is being a little shifted because of the last 2 weeks. Nude, who you like, who you love?
Give me the Eagles and give me the over.
Give you the Eagles, give you the over. Unfortunately, I'm going to have to agree with you. Fourth, Nude and Joe on the same page. And the final game, arguably the game of the year, the Pittsburgh Steelers versus the Indianapolis Colts on Monday Night Football. Boy, howdy, be there. Another under 20 guaranteed. Take that alternate spread for me. But what the lines are here is the Colts are minus 2.5. Oof. The Colts are minus 2.5. Over under is 39.5. Nude, who you like, who you love?
Give me the under. Go ahead.
Under and plus 2.5 for the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Oh, good man. All right.
You know what? No. My dog of the week, plus 122, Pittsburgh Steelers.
Don't.
I just did. Too late.
All right. Don't put your whatever, the house and all that shit that he says, and don't do that.
Not on that day. Do not take the over.
Do not do
that segment, and then hear me realize that there's 2 backup quarterbacks playing. Do not take the over. Do not do that.
But thank you guys for rocking with us. We are the Pacers franchise. We are on Spotify, iTunes, YouTube, anywhere you get your podcasts. Please follow us on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter for all our podcasts on Under the Four Corners umbrella with all the other podcasts. So like, download, and subscribe so we can get more, ads and everything as well. But we like to thank.
So we can blow up. We're gonna be bigger than PMT. We're gonna be bigger than Pat Mac. Continue.
Mobile.
You got it. Stay
Sponsors.
on the track.
Sponsors.
I know it's tough with me.
Eyesight with an eye. Mobile Eyewear Company comes to you for all your eyewear needs. Follow them on Instagram. We will tag them in the post. Follow them for their new line, for their eyeglasses, their sunglasses.
They're dropping a new line. Let's go.
So yeah, as well as stuck up clothing. Finest fashion money can buy. Follow them on Instagram. Follow them on their Instagram and their website to get all their stuff, as well as great premium clothing for the winter coming up. So get some sweatshirts and everything you need, as well as Seductions by Jax. Follow her on Instagram and DM her so you can get your hair, your nails, everything coming up. I know a bunch of different dances and home and winter formals and all that shit are coming. So why don't you get that done? She is getting a new office space, so we're very excited for her.
Go off, Promo King. You don't even need me this week for the promos. Go ahead.
Nah, but hey, that's
your best for ad reads ever. Let's go, King. You have been in people's
because you're laughing.
You have been sneaking up on people's
because they paid me. They didn't pay you. They paid me, not you. So
I know. Trust me. I know. Why don't you think I show up every week?
Stay breezy, stay easy, one love.
Happy Thanksgiving, everybody. Just a nice happy Thanksgiving. No bit.
Happy Thanksgiving. I'm with that.